Well, during your average summer, tobacco harvesting here in Georgia would be wrapping up right about now. However, this summer has been anything but average. Thanks to one of the wettest Julys on record, many growers could harvest only a small percentage of the leaves. So the pickers are still rolling. And as Rick Treptow reports, the quality is less than ideal.
We've probably had in excess of 50 to 60 inches of rain since it started, back in the spring.
The rain made it difficult for the harvester to get its work done here on the farm of STANLEY CORBETT in Echols County. All the tobacco has to be graded and then dried.
We couldn't harvest any tobacco during the month of July because of the excess rain. And we're not the only ones. Our neighbors north of us is in just as bad a shape, if not worse than we are. We do have, as you can see behind me, a crop that we can still harvest, and some of my neighbors doesn't have anything to harvest.
The drying process becomes more expensive as the leaves have to remain in the drying barns longer, costing more fuel and time. STANLEY CORBETT sells to Alliance One, and some goes to stabilization.
This year the tobacco companies are taking, they're short on tobacco, so they're really needing everything that we can send them, and we're trying to send them the best quality we can.
With 335 acres of tobacco, in years past, the farm would have qualified for maybe some state or federal disaster relief. There's new thinking on that.
I don't want any kind of federal disaster relief. We like to try to grow a crop and make a profit on what we grow and do. You can't control what Mother Nature throws on you, We just have to deal with it the best we can.
This is tobacco from the Lowndes County farms of Fred Wetherington. It comes from the fields and old school buses. Then it's unloaded, given gradings for field trash, and then placed in one of their 58 tobacco drying barns for about a week. His total crop will also be short.
I don't think there'll be very many farmers that probably are able to deliver on their full contract. Depending on where you are in the state, some areas got more rain than others, but I think across the tobacco belt, the southern part of the state, we've all been hit pretty hard with the rain.
Wetherington also serves as the Georgia Tobacco Commission chairman. He says other states, including North Carolina, another major flue-cured tobacco growing state, has had unseasonably heavy rains.
As the rain comes down, the water enters the soil and picks up the nitrogen and potassium molecules and takes it further down below the roots. And then when the water table rises, then the roots are immersed in water.
After that, they drown.
We've cut water furrows, we've pumped water, we've prayed that rain would actually stop for a while. It's surprising that we're going to have as good a crop as we are in some areas, even though there are many growers that have suffered more than a 50% stand loss and yield loss on their tobacco crop.
Down here in Echols County, we have a real sandier, finer type of soil, so the heavy rains has caused a lot of problems as far as leaching fertilizer out. So our fertility's been a kind of an uphill battle.
And it rained about every day, made it more difficult to put the tobacco up, and also made it hard to get into the field. So it's just kind of delayed the harvest.
The tobacco industry and all of Georgia ag won't forget 2013.
We've never seen this amount of rainfall during the production season in South Georgia that I'm aware of. I can't find anybody that says that they can remember it.
It'll go down in history that people will remember 2013, not just the tobacco industry, cotton industry, peanut industry, corn, everything that the farmer's been doing this summer, it'll be remembered for a long time.
I'm Rick Treptow for the Georgia Farm Monitor.